From a humble beginning in New Jersey to becoming USA's hero in goal, we go one-on-one with legendary goalkeeper Tim Howard. Crowned champions of the world in 2022, now Argentina wants a repeat as Lionel Messi and company chase back-to-back World Cup titles, and flavors of the globe served right here in our own backyard. Tonight we're getting a taste of the World Cup. ANF Overtime Soccer starts now. Say goodbye to the bins and hello to Atlanta Stadium. The stadium's World Cup transformation is underway. Crews are covering up the Mercedes-Benz branding due to strict sponsorship rules from FIFA. However, there is an exception. The giant Mercedes-Benz logo on the stadium's roof will not be covered due to risk of significant damage. What's happening, everybody? I'm Avery Braxton, and tonight on ANF Overtime Soccer, a major announcement from the U.S. men's national team. Later this month, the U.S. will reveal its World Cup roster in New York City, and the team is going all out. There will be a fan fest with food, music, and giveaways, all leading up to the moment the nation has been waiting for, when the players picked by Mauricio Pochettino are revealed live. We're talking 26 players on May 26th for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. And our first look at the squad is going to come 5 days later when the Stars and Stripes take on Senegal in Charlotte. That's the first of two final tune-up games for the U.S. ahead of the World Cup. Kickoff from Bank of America Stadium is set for 3:30 on May 31st. Back here at home, the new U.S. Soccer headquarters is almost ready to open in Fayetteville. The new training facility will open next Thursday on May 7th. The complex near the town at Trilith will be the hub for the men's and women's national teams and the youth teams. That's not the only facility that we're gearing up for here in the Metro. Atlanta's new professional women's soccer club recently broke ground on their training facility in Marietta. The team is owned by billionaire Arthur Blank. Atlanta News First Bridget Spencer has more.
In a notable step toward bringing women's soccer to Metro Atlanta, Arthur Blank and family, alongside the National Women's Soccer League commissioner, broke ground on a soon-to-be training facility. Atlanta is going to welcome an NWSL team in 2028. The 38,000-square-foot facility will have 4 full fields, plenty of space for practice.
Well, now starts the work and fun. And we have to make sure it's both, and we want to end up with the kind of success on the pitch that our expectations are, and build this world-class facility and welcome all these players here.
The league in general will be welcoming 2 new franchises in 2028. That's Columbus and Atlanta. The commissioner says she knows why she picked the ATL.
We are so fortunate to have you as part of our ownership group to not only change the standard, but set the standard for the future of these incredible women.
The $100 million shot in the arm for Franklin Gateway Corridor is Blank's latest project that he believes could inspire many young girls.
Have girls see and know that if they put in the hard work, they can achieve every single dream that they have, just like boys can.
Tonight, 3 former U.S. men's national team players will be inducted into the Soccer Hall of Fame. Tony Sine, Chris Wondolowski, and Kevin Crowe will be presented their red jackets soon in Frisco, Texas. Already in the Soccer Hall of Fame is U.S. goalkeeper Tim Howard. With 121 caps for the men's national team, Howard is one of the greatest to ever rep the red, white, and blue. Now he's passing that experience down to the next generation. ANF sports reporter Kinsey Lee caught up with Howard at a local youth soccer camp.
Well, Tim, thanks for talking with us. We appreciate it. But I want to start with your smile. I saw your smile with those kids whenever you were handing out the sign balls. What does this mean to you to get to impact the younger generation?
Well, Honda youth soccer camps are pretty special because you get to come out here, see the kids, and what I talked to them about was like, it seems like it's far off, but you can play in the World Cup too. And I know that sounds crazy, but I was just a kid like them. And so for me, it's important to get that message across to them.
And when you think about that when you were a kid and you were playing, did you ever think you would make it to the point that you did and the success that you had?
I don't know. I dreamed, right? I was a crazy kid who thought I can conquer the world, and I just so happened to do that. But I think you have to love what you do. You have to enjoy playing the game. There's some ups and downs, but yes, I always thought that I could get to the next level. And again, it was just a hope and a dream, but eventually it comes true.
How important is it to let these kids know, like you said before, that it is possible? You know, dreams can come true.
Well, I think it's important to not sugarcoat it for them. Say, like, it's a long road, it's hard, but it's also rewarding and fulfilling. And we had the parents out here, and encouraging the parents to believe in the kids' dreams and help push them if they really want to succeed.
The excitement surrounding the World Cup this year, I mean, the first time in over 30 years that it's going to be on American soil. What is that like in that excitement?
Well, I mean, just even being out here and Hyundai being an official partner, I've played in a World Cup, and I tell you what, that's special. But I'm also looking forward to being a fan and the experience that you can get going to the stadiums and being at fan fests, and just like every host city is going to be taken over. This country is going to be taken over by soccer fans. The jerseys are colorful, the people are wild. It's so much fun to be a part of.
And a lot of people, call Atlanta the soccer city. Of course, they're holding 8 matches here in a semifinal match. I heard them ask, how many of you want to go to the games? And you raised your hand too. So will you be at some of the matches?
I'm unsure. I will be. I don't know if I'll make it to. I was just at the 2 games in Atlanta with the U.S. team against Belgium and Portugal. Atlanta does it right. Brilliant stadium, amazing fans. They always bring it. They're always loud. I will be at 1 or 2, maybe 3 World Cup games. I just don't know when yet or where. Certainly a U.S. game.
And you said you were with the U.S. men's national team. Of course, you've played on many teams yourself. But first, watching them, the last 2 games, just your thoughts on maybe what you saw from them against Portugal and Belgium.
Well, I don't think the games went particularly well. I still believe in the team, and not a lot of time to sort of get things right. But internally, they're trying to do the right things. And I think when it comes to the tournament, I'm bullish in the fact that I think this team is going to succeed. I think they're going to make this country proud, and there's going to be some moments that we'll be able to kind of look back on forever.
Did you talk to any of them players after that match, having been through it and done it?
No, I mean, I know a few of the players, sort of this soccer fraternity, right. But I think they have the tools necessary, within that group, and obviously the coaching staff. And so no words of advice from me, but again, I trust that they have that internally.
You played in World Cups. What are some of your favorite memories from some of them?
Oh gosh, I mean, I think about Landon Donovan and Clint Dempsey combining for the goal against Algeria to put us through. I think about the 2014 World Cup against Belgium when I had a pretty good game. I think about my first World Cup where I sat on the bench and didn't play a minute, and got to experience what that's like on the inside of a team in the biggest moments. So, so many of those stand out. And then before I even made the national team, our U.S. men's national team gave me so many memories to hang my hopes on, going back to 1990 and 94. So really special.
Good stuff. There are some new concerns surrounding one of the biggest stars set to hit the field this summer. A torn hamstring has put Lamine Yamal's first ever World Cup in a little bit of jeopardy. The Spaniard was injured while taking and scoring a penalty last week, ruling him out for the rest of the season with Barcelona. However, reports right now suggest that the 18-year-old will be ready for the World Cup in June. In his race against time to recover, there is a chance Yamal misses the beginning of the tournament, which is a pretty sobering feeling for soccer fans here in Atlanta, because Spain is going to play their first 2 group stages games right here. We've talked heavily on Spain as a tournament favorite, but what about the reigning world champions? Argentina very much a contender once again, and they could book a spot in Atlanta's semifinal game. ANF Sports Director Bailey Burmaster has more in tonight's match report.
Welcome into your match report, where we tell you everything you need to know about the 2026 FIFA World Cup. As we inch closer, we are going to stick with breaking down the biggest contenders for this summer. Let's talk Argentina. In their 19th campaign of competition, the Argentinian Football Association is aiming to make it back-to-back global conquests. You need no introduction to their leading man, Lionel Messi, who is soccer superstar internationally and here in the States playing for Inter Miami. Messi is the team's top scorer in World Cups with 13 goals. But will he play? Hard to think he wouldn't. A second World Cup title might elevate Messi in debates of whether he, Pele, or Diego Maradona is the greatest player in soccer history. As of mid-April, Messi had not made a final commitment to playing. This team has reached the FIFA World Cup final 6 times, winning 3 titles. Argentina, managed by Lionel Scaloni, will play its other friendly match against Iceland on June 9th at Jordan Hare Stadium in Auburn, the first international soccer match at that venue.
Kansas City will host Argentina's tournament opener on June 16th against Algeria, and the Paris of the Plains is ramping up its World Cup look. The city will kickstart its FanFest construction project next week at its World War I memorial. Police and fire crews are also getting ready by practicing their response in the event of an emergency.
If something like this were to happen, it's going to be such a large-scale incident that we have to work together and get basically our resources all on the same page. And by practicing that, it'll help us so that if something, God forbid, were to actually happen, we're already at a level ready to go so that we can, have that familiarity.
New York City is hosting a series of FanFests, and they're all going to be free. The city's mayor making the announcement this week that there will be watch parties in all 5 boroughs.
These events were not initially set to be free, but the world's game should belong to the world. And so we've made the decision together for fans to be able to watch that together without having to spend $1.
The World Cup 41 days away. FIFA just made a major rule change that could bring some relief to potential suspensions. As Score Atlanta's Landon Knight explains, the new rule aims to keep star players on the pitch.
We've seen a lot of changes already with the 2026 World Cup, like the field expanding to 48 teams for the first time ever. Now there are some big changes in between the lines. FIFA has changed World Cup rules on yellow cards to ensure fewer players are suspended for key elimination games this summer. In previous World Cups, yellow card counts were only reset after the quarterfinals. The new rule will clear yellows after the group stages. It's being reported that FIFA is making this change to reduce more suspensions due to the expanded field and more matches being played. Remember, there's now an additional knockout match, the round of 32. FIFA believes this approach will create a more balanced competition by reducing suspensions while also ensuring that top players remain available for the most important knockout matches.
Still to come, bold flavors from a bold nation. We're getting a taste of the World Cup from a Metro Atlanta joint serving the rich taste of Uzbekistan. And did the new World Cup format kill the group of death? How teams in our pick for the best group will battle it out for a spot in Atlanta's round of 32 match. Stick around.
You're watching Overtime on Atlanta News First.
Iran will compete at the 2026 World Cup. FIFA President Gianni Infantino reaffirming the decision yesterday that the team will play in the U.S. despite the conflict between the two nations. President Trump echoing the message while speaking at the White House.
You know what? Let him play well. Johnny's fantastic. He's a friend of mine, and he talked about it. I said, "You do whatever you want. You can have them. You don't have to have them. Probably have a good team."
Now on Overtime Soccer, a group case showcase. As we inch closer to the World Cup, we're going to unpack all 12 groups. And sure, Group A is an easy place to start, but we're kicking off at the end of the line with the so-called group of death. That is Group L. This year's 48-team format pretty much killed the idea of a group of death, but we predict this selection of teams to be quite competitive. England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama make up the group. And don't forget, the winner of Group L will play its round of 32 game right here in Atlanta. And the team most likely to do so is England. The Three Lions enter the tournament as one of the favorites. At the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, they lost 2-1 to France in the quarterfinal. So there's certainly some extra motivation this time around. And one player with a chip on their shoulder is going to be Harry Kane. He missed the tying penalty late in that game against Les Blues, but he's still someone England will heavily rely on this summer. We're also keeping a close eye on Jude Bellingham, Declan Rice, and Bukayo Saka. Croatia comes into Group L as an underdog. The checkered ones were a World Cup finalist in 2018 and semifinalist in 2022. But a lot has changed since then. Key players on those teams like Luka Modric and Ivan Perisic have gotten older. That being said, FIFA's 11th ranked team has always been known for running hard, so don't be surprised if they lean on that experience to make another deep run in the tournament. Moving down the line, U.S. soccer fans certainly familiar with Group L's loose cannon, Ghana. Thanks to a recent collapse, the Black Stars are now ranked 74th in the world. They've lost 5 straight friendlies, failed to qualify for the Africa Cup of Nations, and will probably make the trip to North America without one of their stars, Mohamed Kudus. Panama rounds out Group L. And U.S. fans, let us not forget, this is the nation that took our spot in the 2018 World Cup in Russia after the U.S. lost to Trinidad and Tobago in qualifying. That was Panama's first and only World Cup appearance until now, and there's some deja vu because Panama was also paired with England in that tournament, losing 6-1. The World Cup isn't just about the teams on the field, it's also about celebrating these nations' cultures off the field, and a big part of that is the food, and Metro Atlanta certainly has the appetite. ANF Sports anchor Connor Hines visited a restaurant in Alpharetta serving all the classics from Uzbekistan.
All right, so our culinary World Cup voyage begins right here in Alpharetta at Logman Express. And I'm not going to lie, look at all this. It is going to be tough to beat these guys. Logman Express, it's an authentic Uzbek restaurant right here in the Metro Atlanta area. Check out what we've got over here. We've got a samsa, which is a traditional pastry with some beef. We've got a shawarma situation here with some lamb and rice, a little bit of everything that the good folks here at Logman Express have hooked us up with. But I want to focus on this right here. It's called the Logman, so I had to get it, knowing that it's the namesake of the restaurant. We've got some hand-pulled noodles, some meat on top, a little bit of a veggie sauce there. I ordered this because Google told me it was the dish with the boldest flavors, got a little bit of a tangy sauce there, kind of just how the Uzbek national team has boldly entered a new era, qualifying for the World Cup for the very first time. Pretty incredible story here, as Uzbekistan is one of Asia's strongest teams to never appear in a World Cup, that is, until this summer, reaching the finals of Asia's qualifying tournament. These guys are also nicknamed the White Wolves, which might just be the coolest nickname for any team out there. Uzbekistan entering some uncharted territory this summer here in Atlanta, and I think my taste buds are about to enter some uncharted territory here, but it looks really good, so let's give it a go here. Beef is so tender. Look at these noodles. You got thick, they tell me they're hand-pulled noodles here at Logman Express, and the sauce is definitely bold and tangy, so I think this was a good pick. Uzbekistan, no doubt one of the best stories of this summer's World Cup, and I'm not gonna lie, this beef Logman right here, maybe one of the best things I've tried up to this point in Atlanta. Here in Alpharetta, I'm Connor Hines, Atlanta News First.
Man, I haven't had dinner yet, and that package right there has me starving. Uzbekistan will play one of its group stage games in Atlanta against the Democratic Republic of Congo. The White Wolves have also decided to make our city its home base for the tournament. Next on ANF Overtime Soccer, World Cup tickets is coming at a cost for all parties as FIFA struggles to fill stadiums for the biggest tournament in the world. Plus, Adidas unleashed how your pet can get their paws on some new World Cup colors just in time for the summer.
You're watching Overtime on Atlanta News First.
It was a big week for some U.S. internationals in Europe. Johnny Cardoso becomes the third American to start in a Champions League semifinal. The 24-year-old and New Jersey native manned the midfield for Atletico Madrid in its 1-1 draw against Arsenal on Wednesday. But despite playing in the penultimate game for club soccer's biggest tournament, Cardoso's place in Mauricio Pochettino's World Cup squad is still up in the air. World Cup ticket prices are once again causing a stir. FIFA put more tickets on sale for all 104 matches again last week. It comes after backlash over high prices and a new front category option. Right now, tickets for most games remain on sale at prices ranging from nearly $400 to $4,100, with just over a month until the tournament begins. There is some good news for soccer fans. It's looking like the party is back on for World Cup host cities. FIFA has clarified it does not have a policy restricting tailgating. That means it's up to city officials to set site-specific restrictions. So far, Boston is the only host city to outright say that tailgating will be allowed because Atlanta knows how to party. Your pet can now help you represent your favorite team this World Cup. Adidas unveiled its pet collection of jerseys this week, inspired by various countries' home kits. Look at them, they are so cute. Includes Mexico, Argentina, Colombia, and the U.S. The pet collection is available in stores and online starting today. Fandom for the beautiful game truly has no limits. I got to buy some of that for my dog Gigi. That is going to do it for ANF Overtime Soccer. We'll be back same time, same place next week. Have a good night.